Let's get started. Here is a 15-minute session to stretch the whole body. We're going to start with the shoulders. So you'll want to use a yoga strap or a belt or something like it. Shoulder flossing. So we're going to take the hands wide, keeping the arms straight. You'll take the arms overhead and drop them down behind you. And just doing this several times, starting out slow, taking a couple of nice full breaths. And then just kind of noticing maybe where the tension or tightness is, which often is slightly behind the head with this, and just kind of hanging out right there or just pulsing a little bit forward and back. You can do this in your seat, you can do this standing, either one works. Let's side bend. So just dropping into our sides, so stretching through side body. Again, just nice steady breathing as you do it. And then also we can do this with a twist, so just rotating side to side. Great. All right, let's come down. From there, still with your strap or your belt, we'll come right into the mat, and you'll put that right foot into your strap. Other leg, you might start with it bent, but you just want to kind of anchor the hands down, or rather the elbows, and then just gently letting that leg come towards you. So not too intense, just enough stretch. And then you might explore taking the other leg down. Hanging out here, several breaths. And then if you just gather up your band, your strap with both hands, you're gently going to open that leg to the side. So not so far that you're kind of rolled over or dragged over, but just hanging out a little bit with the leg open. Good. Let's come back in and now take the leg slightly across the body. This isn't so much a twist for your spine as it is the outer leg. So just the leg, keeping the hip down and reaching through. Okay, let's come back in, bending that foot. You're going to take the band apart with the hands and then just kind of lift the head and kind of round into that. And then we'll switch out the feet. So other foot up, hanging out here as long as you want, really. Getting a nice stretch through the back of the leg. Sometimes reclined stretch of the hamstrings is just a much kinder way in than to do this from standing. Let's go ahead and take the leg out to the side, holding on to that strap. Letting the breath move, just remembering to breathe. That's what really supports our nervous system while we're stretching. Let's bring this back in. And same thing here. Forgot to take the leg down. You can do that if you want. Just across the body a little bit with that other leg. Getting that stretch from the outside into the IT band. And we'll come back in. So we're going to part the strap. And then we're just going to kind of lift your head and round in. One final good stretch with that. And then releasing. While we're down here, let's draw the knees in. Give yourself a squeeze. This can be looked at as a reclined squat. You get a nice stretch through the low back, a little bit into the hips. I like to take arms, legs into the air and circle through wrists and ankles because they tend to get forgotten in a lot of our fitness. But also the hands and wrists can just get kind of sore from all our work. Now let's draw the right knee in, hugging it close, and then the left leg down the mat. If you open this right knee just a little bit towards your armpit and then squeezing in. Taking a breath towards the belly. Same thing, you're just going to kind of lift head and shoulders, rounding knee to nose, and then right back in. Let's drape this right leg across the body, so just a nice big middle twist. And then right back out. So we'll switch the legs. I'm going to hug this knee in nice and close using my hands to pull in. But I'm going to take the knee out just so very slight towards my armpit and then hug in. Soften your jaw. Let the breath be easy. And we'll lift the head, shoulders kind of rounding in, knee to nose style. And as you lower the head, let's take the leg across the body. Nice big twist through the middle. And coming back out. Let's go ahead and rise, coming up into your seat, cross-legged seat. Just spending time down on the floor in a seat like this is a great all-around stretch for the lower body, the hips and low back. So cross-legged seat, we can lean forward with the hands, a little bit of a sway side to side, just kind of shifting that stretch around from side to side. Coming up, we want to switch the legs, crossing them the other way. We tend to not do that. We tend to kind of cross-leg the same every time, so making sure to switch. You might really feel a difference. And again, just swaying side to side. From there, we're going to come back up and we're going to find pinwheel pose, or sometimes it's called 90-90. So we have one leg in front, the other one is kind of bent towards the side and the back. Take a moment here and just kind of feel into that. Sometimes the back leg might feel crampy. You can kind of lean out away from it, but ultimately kind of sneaking your way back upright. And you might have to spend some time just upright with this until eventually it will start to get easier to start to walk this forward and fold in. And then here again, you are welcome to explore kind of walking the hands to one side or the other, and that's just going to kind of change where the stretch lands for you. Each pose, each stretch, making sure to just take a nice full breath and to kind of remember to bring that breathing aspect into it. Let's rise from pinwheel and then just leaning back, just kind of propping into the hands, counter stretch to that. And we'll come out. Let's switch the legs around. So other leg in front, pinwheel. It kind of looks like that pinwheel shape, right? The zigzag. Again, just settling in, and you might stay here the whole time upright with it. And just kind of taking stock, registering, okay, where do you feel this in your body? Helps to kind of really land that stretch, to kind of recognize where it is. Obviously, we can fold forward, shifting our weight side to side. And just kind of letting your awareness rest on the stretch, letting your awareness rest on this process. Let's go ahead, walk this up, leaning back into the hands, little counter stretch for the other leg. And coming up. We'll come out of that, planting the feet just to clear that away. Plant the feet and the hands, gluing the feet down, just moving from the knees. So you're really rocking the hips inside, outside. All right, just as a nice mobility move, knock the rust off here, side to side. Okay. And then from there, coming back in, let's find our tabletop. We're coming to hands, knees. From here, we're going to move our spine, cat-cow. Nice big arch and round. Think of moving everything you can between head and tailbone. Nice to kind of sync up your breathing with your movement in this one. No wrong way to do that. From there, let's pause and table and tuck the toes. We're going to just push back into the heels, kind of get a stretch through the feet, into the quads. And then we'll ease forward off of that, kind of a half plank shape. And then let's rock back, untucking the toes and landing in child's pose. Arms stretch forward. We drop the head. You could also rest your head on a yoga block. So if the head doesn't rest easily on the floor, then your forehead, your brow resting on that block. Especially nice with the yoga block because we can kind of just nod the head side to side and roll away that tension. Also a little nice stretch for the neck muscles here. Let's go ahead and rise from that. We're going to tuck our toes again and find a deep squat, but it's a yoga squat. So we take the knees wide and we just literally sink in and we get this nice stretch through the whole lower body, even into low back pelvic area. And you can kind of round in the shoulders here, sinking in. Of course, you could prop, again, the floor up to you with that yoga block. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to ease out of it, coming back through to that tabletop position. Let's just move our spine again here, arch and round. And from there, we'll work into the hips here more deeply. So bringing your right foot forward on the diagonal and then just letting your body sink forward. I'm letting my knee come forward over the toes. And again, you could prop up on the block to give you that support and comfort as needed. You could also be down on the elbows. If you've got the room and you want to drop in, from here, hand kind of at the knee or thigh, and just gently kind of leveraging that. You can kind of press in and look over your shoulder. Take a breath here. And then easing out. Let's press back and switch the leg. So other foot forward, but on the diagonal, and then sinking forward and just allowing the body to drop in, gravity on your side here. Softening your jaw, remembering to breathe. We'll bring this hand to the knee, little leverage, push in, take a look over the shoulder. A breath in that twist, and we'll ease out of that and we'll come on back through. Yeah. Let's tuck our toes and find a fold. So we'll take the feet wide and just dropping in, upper body, shoulders, head. Knees can bend here as well. And just having head below heart. And from there, slowly rising. Let's bring hands to knees, and you're going to turn your toes out a little bit, and we twist. So we sink in, we drop the shoulder. Again, kind of leveraging the knees as you press in with the hands. So side to side. And then coming back up, we'll turn the toes in. So we're facing forward here. We're going to bend in just to the right knee, really sinking down, letting the hips go back. So hands can rest at the knee. I like that, but a hand can obviously come to the mat as well or to your yoga block. Staying here, 3 breaths. And then we can push back up through center, dropping over, bending the knee, sinking in, however far your body allows, and then pausing there. We'll come back up, and then just working side to side for efficiency. So I'm going to turn this foot out, pivoting, coming down to a low runner's lunge. So now my back knee is lifted, my hands are framing the front foot. What's nice here is to just bend and re-straighten the back leg. So just kind of lifting off and dropping in, really kind of getting into the hips and low back. You can work this with the front leg as well. So as this one's straight in the back, my front knee, I can just start to straighten and rebend. Leg doesn't have to straighten all the way, okay? Just working with what's available. Flossing, feeling where your edge is. Let's come back through center, and then we just pivot. We just go right into the other side. Here's my low lunge. And then from that, dropping in. Notice what you feel. You can hang out. You find something interesting. You can stay down low. Okay, but just working within that. Be in your body. And then same thing, I'm going to kind of work with the front leg, even if it's just straightening an inch, right? Just making that space. Bit by bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to come right back up through center, bringing all of this in. Right. So from right here, remembering that we can also work with the wall. We have a wall anywhere nearby or a desk. We can take our dog pose, shoulder stretch at the wall, taking the hands kind of shoulder distance apart, and then walking back, dropping the chest through the arms, hips reaching back, and then just really, really lengthening through the spine. Dropping the head, pressing hands into the wall. And then we can kind of come back up and straighten. So you could hang out in that stretch, or you could kind of let this move, right? And kind of flossing into that. Nice one for just standing at the wall to get a quick stretch through the shoulders. Okay. Another little kind of accessory stretch that's great for the calves when they feel tight, the ankles, using a nice foam squishy yoga block. Heel on the mat, heel on the floor, ball of the foot and toes onto that block, and then we push off, we push forward like a gas pedal, right? Coming into that stretch for the calf. Favorite calf stretch, hanging out there. And then sometimes it's nice to ease off the stretch, ease off the intensity, and come back in. And then of course we want to switch sides. Ball of the foot, toes on the block, heel down, and then pushing forward into that. From this, we could bring the whole foot up onto the block, work into the hamstring from standing, reaching up, and then just hinging forward. So we've got the foot propped. We get just a nice pure hamstring through the backside if those are feeling tight. Let's come down a little bit of restorative movement and kind of like stress relief to wrap things up, and this can be done all on its own. Remembering legs up a wall. We want to get super close to that wall sideways, coming down, and then we can swing the legs up. And then here we are, arms out to the side, hanging out as long as you like. As little effort as possible with the legs, so they can float there and just be restored. Letting your awareness rest on your breathing. Let's take another breath here. And we're going to actually come down from that, just so that we can show you this version with the block, right? So block underneath, supported bridge pose, lovely position to hang out in. We want that block low towards the tailbone, letting the knees fall in. This is such a lovely stretch through the low back, getting some length there. We can also take the legs above here, so just supported, shoulder stand on the block. And then to come back into this stretch here, hugging the knee in, letting the leg drop down. So we have the block, it gives us a little extra stretch, really letting that leg drape over here. Letting breath expand towards the belly. Let's switch the legs. We're going to draw this knee in, send it down, draping over that block. Okay, we'll pull this back in and let the knees fall towards you. then we'll plant the feet. Let's lift off the block here. And then switching this with the block, I think, is just really nice. You can also do it with the bolster, right? Shoulders up here, block between them, vertical, north-south like your spine, and then reclining onto that. Legs however you want them. Knees can be bent or maybe butterfly. And then draping over that block. We want enough of the head and shoulders to drape over. Now, hands can interlace behind the head. Get this nice chest stretch and support of the head. But you can also do this with arms out to your side and letting the head hang. So nice counter stretch to all the things that fold us forward. Letting the body melt over that block. Take a nice full breath here. Feel the body expand and lift. Exhale, feel the body drop. To get out of this, we just want to ease to one side. We're just going to kind of roll so we can get that block out from under us. And then coming back into the mat. Butterfly pose, we have the soles of the feet together. Press down, lift the hips like a bridge pose. And then just rocking side to side, tapping the knees. Nice little stretch through the hips. And we lower down. Okay, let's take the legs down the mat. Reach the arms. Nice long full body stretch into every cell. And coming on back up into the rest of the day. Have the best day ever. Peace.